Hello, good morning, welcome back. Well, it's good morning. Welcome back to Crafters TV. It's time for a brand new day, and what a day it is going to be. It is jam-packed today, kicking off, of course, now with this amazing wake-up call. 2 whole hours looking ahead at all the fabulous stuff that is coming up for throughout the rest of the day, and there is loads. There's launches for you, there's third party. It's going to be a really fabulous day with 2 fabulous guests. Debbie is here. Firstly, how are you, Debbie?
I'm fine, thank you. We're just looking at each other because we're so excited, aren't we?
Mark's here as well.
Super excited. So yeah, we can't just say hello to me without Mark's excited, but we've got to say hello to both of us. But yeah, really excited to be here today because not only have we got the fabulous Mark and Ellen in the studio with us all day, but we've got a great new launch, which I'm really excited about because I am one of those believers in buying a die that can offer you a multitude of things, and that's exactly what we've got coming up in the launch day later on today, which is those gorgeous new decorative gatefold dies, a bit like the yin and yang.
Why are you doing an American accent? Hey, it's Debbie from LA here.
Just please excuse me. The yin and yang to offer you 2 different kind of feels and vibes, and they're absolutely fabulous. I'm really looking forward to that. And we're going to give you a little sneak peek in this first show as well.
Amazing. And then Mark's here as well, Visible Image. Loads of new stuff for us today.
We have some gorgeous Gringe daisies.
Ooh.
Aren't they gorgeous? They're brilliant.
Love.
Oh. Debbie's got her eye on those.
I have. I've already said my order's going straight in the minute I'm off air.
If you like your bees, and also we have some amazing layering dies as well, which you're going to absolutely love.
Amazing.
We have some beach themes as well. So we have some lovely seashells and sea-themed stamps and dies and stencils as well. So have a look at that.
I love that.
Amazing.
Absolutely love this one. It's absolutely gorgeous.
Amazing. So Mark will be here with us in the sort of second hour of this show, and then also in our other shows as well throughout the day, of course, because there is a launch day coming up at 2 p.m. in the UK. That's 9 a.m. East Coast, 6 a.m. West Coast. And then also Creative Cravings will be here with myself and Debbie again, 6 p.m. here in the UK. That's 1 o'clock on the East Coast, 10 o'clock over on the West Coast. So it's going to be a real action-packed day. I know it's going to be so busy for everything that we've got so much new stuff coming up for you. Let's dive in then, and let me just give you a heads up on the Visible Image items. Now, this is going to be one of those days, isn't it? The Summer Days collection with 16 stamps and a 6x6 stencil. That is already 10% gone. $23.98, $34.77. I think these new Visible Image items are going to go really, really quickly today. We've got more for you. We also have the Beach Days collection as well. Also, 10% gone already. They've only just gone live on the website, and we also have the Celebrations collection with 20 stamps there, and guess what, 10% of that one has gone as well. Some really lovely dies that are going to complement those collections beautifully for you. This one here is the Broken Mesh layering die. 10% of this one has gone. Frame fibres, guess what, 10% has gone. And also the fishnet, 10% gone as well. They're going to go very, very quickly today. They are live over on the website, so if you do want to go and grab those, then please be our guest. We've also got a very, very exciting launch day for you. I saw these a couple of weeks ago, and I think they're amazing because of the versatility, the amount of stuff that you can do with these. Let me share them with you then. It is these, the decorative gatefolds that you are looking at. Now, these are fantastic because what you've got is a sort of fancy decorative gatefold die on here, which is going to split the card for you. So here is that die, and you can obviously position that and turn that around however you wish. The other great thing about them is you've got 2 different panels in each one of the dies. So you can have 2 of the same in there, you can have one on the left, one on the right. It's completely up to you, but you've got loads of ways of putting these together, which is excellent. And then these lovely centre points, and the great thing about the centre points is you can use that as a clasp or a closing mechanism if you want to. You can split it out, you can actually have them in the middle of your panels. There's loads of different ways you can use it. So you've got the floral swirls in here. You will also receive as well the floral meadow, which is fantastic. And we also then have this one. I love this one. I know we're not meant to have favourites, but if we did, I think this would be mine. The lace and scroll, which is amazing. So you're going to get that one in there. You've also got the Opulent Botanicals, which are really lovely. Almost like broken tiles, this one, which is really cool. You've also then got as well the classic lace in there too. So really, really cool dies, these ones. There is another one as well, which I'm missing a board for, and I'm going to tell you right now which one it is. It is the Opulent Botanicals. So I did the Opulent Botanicals. I knew I was going to do this, Debbie. I thought, make a note of which one you don't have a board for, because when you get to it, you're going to forget. It is the Deco Vines. That's the one you're also getting within there. So you're getting 6 brand new dies in there, which is awesome. Absolutely loads that you can do with these. Best way to get the best value is to get them all together. You can get 2 for £26 though, or $35 if you would like to grab a hold of them like that. Lots of you tuning in and saying hi already today as well. Alicia is saying good mornings and greetings from Arkansas. Good morning from Arkansas. Tammy says good morning, Joe. Sherry saying good morning, Debbie, Joe, Mark and all the superstars. The lovely Lynn is saying hi to everyone as well. Rhiannon's in Ballarat, Australia. And also Val is in Southampton. Any questions you've got about any of the launches that we've got throughout the day today, then do get them into me. But I feel like, well, it's been a week since we were together, Debbie, but we were together so much last week that I missed you when you left.
Oh, bless your little heart. Do you know what I'm really excited about today, though?
They're cool, aren't they?
Honestly, I adore these. And I'm going to give you a little taster of what's coming up in the launch show later, because these are some of my makes that we're going to be showing you how to use them. So, again, you can see that lovely gatefold element, but how they just literally match and meet in the middle. The lovely thing about these, though, is that you've got 2 different designs on each one. So you can use 2 of them together, and this one's a lovely extended gatefold that I'm going to show you as well, how easy it is to achieve these. What about a reversed gatefold style? Let me just get that the right way around, though, so you can see how fabulous you can use these. And we've also got the beautiful vintage butterflies on Creative Cravings later. So I've incorporated one of those into there. And again, you can see just how fabulous they work, just regardless of where you put them, these, Joe. They're absolutely beautiful. So again, I love the whole design about these. They're just so gorgeous. They really are. So these are all the makes that I've got coming up. And of course, I couldn't have a launch show without doing one of my famous lovely light up boxes as well.
Wouldn't be a launch.
It wouldn't be a launch. And it wouldn't be a launch if I couldn't pop it in there with that. And it's absolutely, honestly, they're just stunning. I love these, and I'm going to show you how easy these are to do. I am going to give a little nod, though, to our lovely Liam, because our Liam came in with his make. And I think this is something he's doing on the blog, I believe. And I do believe, so look at these gorgeous makes that Liam's done. Absolutely beautiful. Look at this. This really shows this off so well, that 2 different design where it just meets in the middle. It's absolutely fabulous. But look at this one he's done with a gorgeous box. I mean, come on, these are sensational. Absolutely gorgeous designs. Really, really beautiful. And shows you it's not just for card making as well. You can take it into all different styles. So I think, if I may, get ready for my demo. And I'm going to start with, is that all right, Joe?
Production manager Erin has just messaged me, just to double check that I do know that it's Arkansas and not Arkansas. Genuinely. Yeah, I'm aware. It's just, I think Arkansas sounds so much better, don't you, Debbie? But also the viewers have started messaging in and spelling it Arkan-Sass now as well. So yeah, there's a lot of panic, I think, going on. I've just got some, a couple of the different sort of concepts, Debbie, that you can put these into as well.
And this is what I talk about it a lot, and I always say something that offers more than one thing. So it's a die that gives you opportunities to create in so many different ways, and that's exactly what these do. You can bring them together. These black and white concepts are just a tip of the iceberg of the kind of things that you can achieve with these fabulous dies. They cut in, they cut out, they can go into card. Look at all those gorgeous cards, Joe. They're just absolutely fabulous, and I know we've got plenty to show you, and hopefully we'll tick some of those boxes. I mean, that one's just beautiful.
Oh, it's divine, isn't it?
Pop out centre with that gorgeous design. But again, lots of different crafting opportunities from the same set of dies. They're just absolutely fabulous. That's, for me, a great, big, massive, oh, yes, please, I want some of those in my crafty stash, because of that versatility that they create. We're not echoed by it. It was saying, do you know what it was saying, that lovely wagon out there? It was saying, yes, get them, get hold of them, put them in your basket, because they do.
Basket. Absolutely, it was indeed. very
too.
busy already on these, Debbie. I knew they would be. Under £60 to get all 6 of those as a platinum member is great value, isn't it?
Exactly. And you know, whether you're going for one, whether if you're going the smallest, you know, whichever one you're going for, I know you're going to get so much potential out of these dies, and they're very, very easy to use. I'm going to show you how they work in that gatefold manner, so to speak. That's the way I'm going to start with this one, but you must join us later on for the 2 p.m. launch, where we're going to try and get through all those designs that I've shown you, all those different ways that you can use them, and bringing in all your papers and all your different elements in your crafty stash to use with them. So first things first, I'm going to show you the die itself and how it comes to you. So this die comes in these pieces. So you have this outer cutting edge, and then this is the bit what creates the cutting into ability. This is the bit that will create the full panel, and also that cutout panel on your gatefold. And you've got, and we say the yin and the yang, as I was saying it earlier, the yin and the yang element to it, because look how gorgeous they fit together. So again, I'm going to show you how it was intended to be used, but then you've also got some lovely nesting dies in these as well. So when you're wanting to add your sentiment to them, or maybe attaching it to the front to stop your gatefold from opening up, that's what this is going to be able to achieve for you. So first things first, that's all your dies. And can I just say as well, on your, and I'm using the Floral Meadow to start with, but it does give you the 1, 2, 3 different ways that you can use, and then where you can mix and match. So this one's using the mix and match of the 2 designs. That's using 2 of the first design, and that's using 2 with the second design. So you've got 3 different ways where you can mix and match. They're a great size. We're talking 6 inches by just over 2.5 inches per die. So that's the largest of the dies. And then on the back, and I will just say this so that you're aware of it, but you have www.crafterscompanion.co.uk, but you've got your instructions. So if you /page/decorative-gatefold-dies onto your internet browser, that will bring you straight forward to how to use them, step-by-step picture instruction, which is absolutely fabulous and a nice little addition. Should you not go back to this show, should you not record any of the shows that our Debs has done and things like that. So also I'm just to say is that's a great little top tip so you can go to and use. But I am going to show you how you're going to use these. So I'm going to use both of the designs, and I'm going to start with a piece of cardstock that measures 10 inches by 6 inches. So this is 10 inches by 6 inches, and I've used some Centura Pearl because on this side I want that lovely shine, that beautiful pearlescent shine to be on my die. But first things first, I need to put some score lines in, so I'm going to bring in my scoreboard, and we're going to score this on that long edge at 3 inches and 7 inches. And this is how you would get that perfect design for the gatefold, for it to match and meet in the middle. So that's if you was doing it in the traditional way, where it's the 10 inches by 6, score at 3 inches, score at 7 inches. And I always put my score lines in, Joe, when I'm doing mine. So let me just grab hold of my scoring tool. And the reason I do that beforehand is so that when I'm lining my die up, I've got a nice crisp score line on. Now, when it goes through the Gemini, it will flatten out. However, I prefer to do it this way than not burnishing first, because it flattens it completely and then it's a bit difficult to get back into place. So give it a nice little burnish beforehand. And when it like folds over, so it's got like this overlap design, yet when you bring these into the equation and line these up, it's very straightforward and very easy to do. So I'm going to do this, and I'll do it in stages, Joe. I'm not going to do it all in one go, but you can, if you want to, do it all in one go if you're using your larger machines, because you can spread your cardstock out onto the front and then you can match these up. But I want to show you how to do it step by step. So we're going to use the outer die first to line this up, and what you're going to do is you're going to place it, and I'll just give you a fair description of this. Where your fold line is, and the outer cutting die, this bit has got an outside cutting edge on all 3 pieces, but this one doesn't. So don't fear that you're going to cut into your cardstock, because it's being designed with a gatefold in mind. So that doesn't have an outside cutting die edge. So that bit is fine to sit on top of your score line, or just sits underneath the score line. You're going to put your decorative piece in. I'm going to start with that one first. So I'm going to pop that in, and I'm going to hold it down with some low tack tape. So let me grab my low tack tape. Now, I absolutely adore these dies, Joe, because of that versatility. And in my head, I'm hoping and praying I'm hoping and praying I get the craft along. That's what I'm hoping for, because I have got so many ideas running around my head for this. It's just so lovely. They are so lovely. Now, if you wanted to do this at the same time, you can actually do this, because it literally is just, and you'll be able to tell straight away, you're just going to pop it on the opposite direction. But I wanted to show you step by step, so we're going to take us time with this one. And we're going to run that through our die cutting machine on our combination and platform of a normal, and I say paper thin, Craig calls them wafer thin, I call them thin metal dies, so many names for them. Your thin metal dies, that's the platform that you will do on any of your machines. And just because it says Gemini on the front, and we always say this, just so you're aware, it doesn't mean they just fit through a Gemini machine. They fit through all your other electronic cutting machines that are out on the market, or your manual machines that are out on the market. But you obviously get the premium optimum results when you use a Gemini. So I'm going to just take that off for a second, and you'll see that lovely die cut element. And
so much detail, isn't there?
A ton of detail. There is a ton of detail. I do like to finish mine off by also doing a little bit of embossing.
Okay.
But I'm going to show you. I'm going to leave that into place actually, just for a second, because I want to show you when you take that off and wrap that round. And if you've got your other die, Joe, in the same place,
yeah,
it'll do it at the double cut at the same time.
Okay.
But I'm just going to go in and take mine off, and then I'm just going to literally. Let's get rid of all my little die cut pieces. I might do it rest in a minute, Joe, because I want to try and show you all of this die cut.
And I guess the other thing is you can use these on their own as beautiful decorative cut-in dies, can't you?
Absolutely.
So well. I think it's such a great idea to give you the outside edge removed, because it gives you so much versatility.
And that's the versatility, because you've got it in the two pieces. That's the bit that you would just cut straight into your cardstock without anything cutting out. So again, it's offering you lots of different configurations. So first things first, we've got that part done. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to bring my plate back in for a second. And I'm just going to line this up. And again, all you're going to do, and when you look at it, Joe, if I just bring this in, when you've got it the other way, you can't go wrong when you're popping it on, because you can see how it designs. Let me just see if I can, there, that's better. That's better. You can see how that works. So we're just going to do exactly the same. We're going to bring this, and again, this die is exactly the same as the other one, outside cutting edge, score line part. So that's the bit that you're going to fit onto the score line. Can't go wrong. When you're doing the gatefold, you'll not go wrong with it at all. And then I am going to use the other design as well, because I want that yin and yang. I want the two different pieces, because it just looks absolutely beautiful. But there's nothing to stop you from using that die again in the same place, because it's the same fold. It's exactly the same. So again, I'm just going to pop that on like so. Hold it down with some low tack tape. What have I done with the other piece? Let me just get some more. There we go. Let's bring that one in and hold that down, and then we're going to run that through as well.
Amazing. Any questions you've got about these, get them in. It is really busy already. A lot of you have already gone for it since we've gone live this morning. It is brand new launch for you. Would be wonderful. There definitely will be a craft along coming up on these as well, so make sure you're grabbing them now so you can get involved with that. Love, love, love the nails, Debbie, says Christine Mahoney.
Oh, thank you very much.
Sherry says nesting dies and gatefolds are two must-haves in your crafty stash. Lynn loves them, says they're a beautiful collection. Rhiannon loves all of those demos as well. There are so many different things you can do with them. There's probably as well umpteen different things that we haven't even yet thought of that you could do with these. I think the more you use them, Debbie, the more ideas you're going to come up with, aren't you, for these?
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's what I look forward to seeing on the socials, on the pages, all other people's takes on these as well, Joe, because I can see a stencil ability, you know, stenciling through with your inks, die cut pieces, borders around frames and things like that. Lots and lots of different things that you can do with it. Now, I could spend the rest of the next 20 minutes trying to poke out every little piece. However, I'm not going to, because I have got one all pre-done and pre-poked, shall we say. And there you go. That's how it will look when you've got all your pieces out and released it. And it just folds. Look how it fits and folds perfectly. Also, I will say is once you've got your pieces poked out, put your score lines back in. So you simply fold it over, and by that I'll just bring this one back in for a second. Put your fold back down and give it a nice burnish again, and that's all you're going to do. I've already pre-done mine, Joe. Let's just get rid of that piece. I've already pre-done mine. But you can see it gives it a nice little extra fold. So that's what it will look like once it's all, and it literally just fits into place. It's like, do you know what I was thinking about as well? wedding invitations,
Yeah,
party
perfect.
invitations, christening invitations, whatever it is that you want, save the date kind of cards. And look at the beautiful design with the two different ones. Now this is on pearlescent cardstock and you can see that beautiful shine. But I honestly can see all sorts of different ways you could use these. Now I've actually pop my little panel. Now this panel in the centre with this gatefold, how it folds down is 4x6. So you'll know yourself when you open it up, you've got a 4x6 piece. So all I'm going to do with this is now pop in my pieces of cardstock that I've already pre-cut. I've used the 12x12 paper pad of the butterfly, the vintage butterfly, because we've got that in stock still.
Yes, we do, and it's one of your faves, isn't it?
I love it. I genuinely do. Up until the hummingbird came out, it was my favourite paper pad. However, we've got no more hummingbird. I believe it's all gone now.
It has flown away.
I know.
There's a few elements knocking around online. Have a look for those. But the butterflies with 35% discount, we'll be seeing those later in our Creative Cravings
honestly,
show.
amazing. And we are going to be using it, and it will be featuring heavily today because I adore that paper pad. It's absolutely glorious. So I'm just going to pop on my panel just in the background. And the reason I've done Centura Pearl Plain is so to bring in, so it brings into line, and you can see that. And again, if you were just using that without, or maybe you know, put your printed invitation in there, perhaps you could do a bit of, you know, brush lettering in there yourself with your invitations, depending on how good you are at that. But I'm just using, well, yeah, producer Georgina, exactly. I'll be using brush lettering stamps for that.
Much simpler.
Yeah. So, and all I've done with this, Joe, is, do you know the lovely dies that are in the centre? These are the nesting dies. That's exactly what this is. And I've just used one of our mini dies cut out into that same paper, and I've just created myself a little backdrop. Now you could have this on the front and it could act as a little stopper. Yeah, so it could act as a stopper for your gatefold. Or you can have it on the centre. I'm going on with the centre piece for mine. But yeah, you've got options again. It's those crafting options, lots of different options that you can use with it. And I did quite like the idea of having the little with love on the inside for this. So I'm just going to pop that in there, and then I'm just going to add a couple of little butterflies. And again, from my mini dies, I am absolutely obsessed with those mini dies, Joe. I adore them, and I'm just going to bring in a few little gems. Let me grab all of some gems. And I'm just going to add a couple of little butterflies. I've just given it a little touch with some crushed velvet around the edge, and that's only because I had a little bit of crushed velvet around me with love and around the edge of my sentiment die there. So again, let's just give that a nice little coverage. I'm going to pop my tape pen, and I'm going to add one onto the front. I'll add one down into, because I've got two of those already pre-done. And I'm going to just pop one onto that side, and then I'm just going to add a couple of little gems just to make that pop a little bit. And again, these dies are just exquisite. They really are beautiful, beautiful dies. They're going to work with lots of things that you have in your crafty stash already, but you've got this gorgeous gatefold element to them with that lovely two design, and I have literally split that design up into the two, but there you go. You can see just how beautiful, and I'll just close that up so you can see it again, how it fits gorgeous across there. Those two different designs look absolutely exquisite together, and then mix it up with those beautiful nesting dies in there. And that's just one, that's the simplest way, Joe. That's the simplest way. That's how they were designed. But with everything, and let me just tell you, these come from the Creator Card range. So our Creator Card range says exactly what it says on the tin. You can create multitudes of cards, so many different ways that you can use them. They're absolutely fabulous, and get hold of yours now while you can, and then come back and join us for the 2 hours of crafty inspiration that we've got planned for you later with the launch day with these fabulous dies.
Yeah, 2 whole hours planned on that. A little later today, the launch day coming up, of course, 2 p.m. here in the UK. It was 9 a.m. East Coast, 6 a.m. over on the West Coast. Let me run you back through then the designs that you are receiving in here. You're going to get the floral swirls, which is this one here. Remember as well, 2 different style panels in each. It's up to you whether you use 2 of the same or 2 different ones. So it really gives you 3 different looks and effects within each one of these, which is why I think the versatility is amazing, which means the value is going to be amazing too. This one here is your floral meadow. You're also going to receive the lace and scroll. I really love how all of the different closing elements where it joins are so different. So you've really got different looks and feels with these. Opulent Botanicals is this one here. and you're also going to receive the classic lace. The other one that you're going to receive, which I don't have a board for, is this one here, which is your deco vines, which is a really kind of cool design there on that one. $74.95 or $99.75 is your price if you are a platinum member. Of course, we bring that down to $59.96. That is less than £10 per die collection as a platinum member, which is brilliant value, or $79.80. Any two of these, £26 or $35 if you prefer to get them like that. Right, we are going to, lots of you chatting away. There's a lot of excitement. Shadiah says, Debbie, you are a terrifically calm person. I watched the show on Hobby Maker, saw the host fainted, and yet you were still so contained. God bless you, great lady. You always make me giddy, Debbie, I can tell you that.
That's lovely, thank you. It was a very warm day and a very warm studio, and she'd been busy in the morning, hadn't stopped for lunch, hadn't had a drink, and came straight to work and had to do 5 hours back, because they do 5 hours back to back, and it got that incredibly hot in the studio that she just decked it. Bless her heart. Scared us all. I saw her go grey in front of my eyes, and I was talking to her, but I knew she didn't understand what I said, so I knew she was going. Thankfully, glucose drinks later and a bit of fresh hair, she was all right, but I had to carry on with the rest of the show, bless her, because there was nobody else there to do it, so I didn't have a choice.
Oh, what a story. Scrap Paper Scissors says these dies are really unique. I can see them as wedding invitations for sure. Sherry says they're lovely and elegant. Pammy says, good morning, Debbie, Mark and Joe from a very chilly central New York. It's 1 degree Celsius, Debbie.
Oh, wow.
What is going on with the weather, Debbie? It is freezing again up here today in the
Now,
northeast.
you say it's freezing, I say it's warm. And Mark agrees with it. It's a little bit warm in the studio today. We think Joe's cranked up the heating in here today, because it's
it's chilly outside.
It is a bit chilly outside, yes. Yeah.
Right, we're going to come and have a look at the visible image items that we've got for you. Really, really cool. We're going to look first at the Summer Days collection. In here, you're going to get the Be Happy, the Daisy Grunge, and also the Honeycomb Hex stencil as well. Let me share with you a few samples of each of these. The bees are just so cute. Have a look at these, amazing. These are the kind of things that you could be using. You've got that stencil then in the background of there too. I mean, they are always so cool, the items that Visible Image bring to us, but I know you guys are going to adore these. They're going to be brilliant to play with other collections that you already have. Maybe something from our Be Beautiful range would fit beautifully with this as well. So that's what you've got in your bees. Then you've got, and Debbie's been
Drooling.
She's blown away by it.
Honestly,
she's been going on about it. I would say some people might say banging on about it. I wouldn't, because that'd be rude. But she has been very excited.
Honestly, so excited, so excited. Just look how gorgeous that daisy is. It's just
how amazing,
beautiful.
Isn't it gorgeous? So much detail within there as well. As always, a really great selection of embellishing stamps and sentiments that come in with each and every one of these too. I think for summer projects you're going to adore these. You can make them quite cutesy, I think, and quite, fresh, or you can make them much more grungy. It is completely up to you. You've got so many different options when it comes to putting together. I love, you know how I feel about a tag. I adore this tag just here. So that's your first collection there. So you're getting the What was his sound effects about?
Because they're gorgeous. I was talking to Mark before the show, and I said to him, do you know, to do that kind of effect with a stamp, you would have to do it over some book covers and things like that, pages from books and things like that to get that script, or script and then stamp over. He's so cleverly designed it that it actually is all in the same thing. They're just beautiful. I can't wait to place my order.
Really, really are. So you're paying for the 2 stamp sets and you're getting the stencil free of charge in there, which is excellent. Then we're going to move into the next collection, which is our Beach Days collection. So you've got the At the Beach stamp set, and you've also got the Ride the Wave stamp set as well. So this one here, the Ride the Wave stamp set, look at that. I mean, it's really lovely. It's quite painterly, this one, isn't it? It really lends itself to, it makes me want to go surfing in Cornwall, this collection. That's what it that's where it sends me. And again, you can make these very pretty, or you can get a lot of those mixed media products involved. Look at that one. The amount of texture and sparkle that you've got in there is truly, truly stunning. And then, Debbie, have you seen these? Oh,
don't even get me started about this one.
Absolutely amazing.
I love
all the texture. And you've also got the die available for this as well, which I'll show you in just a few seconds. But look at this one here as well. So you could be doing something like this. A little sand between your toes always takes away your woes.
That is so true.
It is, isn't it?
So true.
It really, really is. So that is your Beach Days collection. And then the other one we're going to have a little look at is this one just over here. Again, on all three of these collections, you're buying the 2 stamp sets and you are getting the stencil free of charge. So in here, you're going to get anyone for bubbles, always. Always yes to bubbles, please. If not bubbles, then definitely afternoon tea. So you've got both of those in there. And then you've got your bubbles and fizz stencil, which you are not paying for at all, which is brilliant. Let me show you, though. Oh, look at how classy this card is. How amazing is that? Absolutely
gorgeous.
Awesome.
Absolutely gorgeous.
Then, of course, the 2 mix and match beautifully. Imagine for the upcoming Jubilee, if you wanted to make box frames, home decor to celebrate that. This is going to make you do that. Maybe it's going to be an invite to a street party. Absolutely perfect. Wonderful tags as well with these. Less troubles, more bubbles. Now that is definitely a sentiment I can get behind. Absolutely. $23.98 or $34.77. It's very busy across all 3 of those collections that we've just introduced you to there. I'm just going to quickly grab the board for the dies as well, because there are dies that will match with each one of the collection. So you've got the broken mesh, but you can definitely use these as texture backgrounds across all of your different stamping, on all of your different project making if you want to. But we'll start with this one here. This is the broken mesh. Details are there on your screen, $15.99. What I would say is we have significantly less of the dies than we do have of the stamp collections. And at the minute, almost everyone is adding the dies into the stamp collection. So that means that the dies are going to go much quicker than the stamp collections are. So if you want the option to order both, I'd definitely be ordering in this show. You've then got the framed fibres in here too, which I think is absolutely awesome. And then I don't know why, this one is my favourite. I love this one.
I was drawn straight to that this morning, and I was talking to Ellen prior to the show, and I said, that's how we used to wear our fishnets in the 80s. We used to sit and rip our fishnets. That is just such a gorgeous die. And
really
I think
cool,
the texture, added texture to your projects is just absolutely stunning. I love all 3 of those. I think all 3, I think you're going to be able to use in, not just with Mark stamps, you know, Mark and Ellen stamps. I think you're going to be able to take this into lots of other collections that you may already own and really go to town with these. But they add that added texture like you've just shown.
And you can see there's a couple there used, Debbie, as well. So you've got the fishnet and you've got the broken mesh there as well in the background. It just adds so much gorgeous texture to the project. It's very busy across all of the visible image items. You're going to hear me saying that a lot throughout the course of the day today. A lot of you still chatting away in the comments. So Sandra says, squeeze a set of 2 gone for the Floral Meadow and the Lace and Scrolls. Pam says, I love the footprint one. Sherry saying how cute the Beach Days collection is as well. You guys are loving all 3 of those collections at the moment. We're going to move on. We're going to have a little look at Broderie on Glaze is where we are going. Pammy says, I'm trying to figure out which ones I'm going to go for of all the launches today. May as well just buy the lot. I know that's going to happen in the end anyway. Right, we're going to look at these, the Broderie on Glaze. Now, these launched and were so incredibly busy. You guys love these. Really lovely big dies. We've actually been able to repeat the launch offer for you as well, which is excellent. So you've got the Chantilly, which is that one here, and you've also got the Calais there as well. So they are the 2 dies. They are really, really substantial. And then we've also launched them alongside these beautiful new card pads for you. So they are the luxury mix cardstock that you've got here, and you've got a combo of pearlescent and also linen together to give you the most amount of options, which is awesome. So you will receive in here 24 sheets in the pastels, as well as getting, of course, the neutrals, which is another 24 sheets. They're a really versatile pad, these, working perfectly with the Broderie on Glaze, or you can go for them on their own. They are available individually, the pads, if you did want to come in and get them separately, or you can actually get just the 2 pads together as well, if you want to, and you get them with 15% off. I'll just give you the details for those. Very popular. What a lot of people did at the launch was went for the Broderie on Glaze as a collection with the pads and then added an extra set of the pads in, which is a really savvy way to go if you want to do that. $28.88 or $33.91 if you want to get the 2 pads on their own. But Debbie, lots you can do with these. Very pretty. These lend themselves to those super cutesy cards, don't they?
And they do. And I did a craft along project with this, and I say project because it was a project. It was the the folio, the album that opened up, and I use these dies because I think they're such a versatile die again. You can have them as like a background piece, but you can also use them in lots of other ways as well. I'm using this one of Leslie's just to show you what I mean by that, because she's actually used it to create a fold on the front, but she's actually used it and cut it out to create an aperture, pop it back in, put some acetate behind the back, and she's also used it as a stencil. So I love the idea of that one. There's so much potential with these, but they are fabulous dies. Look how gorgeous they look with your other collections. So that's using the Peacock collection there, that plumage die, which I just think is beautiful. Again, take a look, just adding like a sentiment onto the front, and you've got yourself a really quick, easy, super easy card. But what about chopping up into them? So using them as a little element of that, as well as the background one, and using maybe some of the things that you've got in your collection as well. So they're absolutely fabulous. I'm actually going to use mine as a backdrop, and I'm actually going to use the vintage butterfly. Can't help myself. Vintage butterflies as well with this one, because they're just beautiful. So I'm going to show you how easy these are to use. And when we talk about substantial die, look at the size of this die. This is a huge die. This is not a little teeny weeny die. It's a really big die. And if you can see that side by side with my die there, my piece of cardstock, it actually is 5 by 7 inches. So we're talking a big die, but a big die full of, I mean, these are just absolutely glorious. I'm just going to take this off without taking the sellotape off, because I've left mine at home. I'm having to use John's set, bless his little heart. He fetched me his set, but I don't think it's being used, Joe, in all honesty, because it's got the
box fresh.
Yeah, I think it is box fresh, bless him. But yeah, I'd left mine at home like a silly billy that I am. So I'm just going to get my tape off there. Now this particular design, this is the Chantilly one, but do you know the other one? I want to show you. Oh no, sorry, that's not the Chantilly one. That's the Calais one. The Chantilly one, there's a lot more open space to this, and we were just talking about this before the show. I think you could use this as a ribbon threading element. Me and producer Georgina were just talking about it, like I said prior to the show, and we said you could thread some ribbon through there.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's an absolutely beautiful set, again 5 by 7. It's a huge size, but absolutely gorgeous potential to use it in lots and lots of ways. So I'm going to put that in without dropping everything off. I'm using some of the vintage butterfly do you know the pearlescent, double-sided pearlescent cardstock? So I'm using some of that to create my background, and I'm going to hold it down with a little bit of low-tack tape again. So I'm just going to pop that into place. And then I'm going to bring in my die-cutting platform, and I'm just going to put that on. A thin metal die combination again, so it's your normal thin metal die combination. I suppose it depends what you're cutting out on. If you're going to cut this into acetate and use it as a stencil, which I think would be beautiful, use your metal shim if you're going to cut it into acetate, because I would want to use that all the time. So I wouldn't just cut it with a piece of paper and then stencil it. I'd want to use that over and over again as a stencil. Nice so idea. I would potentially pop 2 pieces already cut out into acetate and pop it into your wallet, so that when you use it as a stencil, you just take it out and then stencil over it, wipe it down and pop it back in there. So that's how I would be using it.
Do you cut it with paper, with card next to a piece of cardstock, or do you just cut the acetate on its own, Debbie?
With acetate on its own?
Yeah.
You would be able to, you'd be able to cut that out in acetate. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, but when you cut the acetate, do you have to put anything in with it, or you just put the acetate on its own with the die?
No, acetate on its own with the die, but that's when I would use my metal shim. Right. I would definitely use the metal shim for that part. So I'm just going to give that a little, oh, look at it, it just literally falls out. It's absolutely gorgeous, this piece. It is just beautiful. Let me wipe all my bits off. Good job Mark's not coming on this one. What have I done with my die cleaning brush? Right. I'm a little bit mucky, I am. I wonder what Mark's like crafting. I'm going to watch him, actually. I'm going to see if he's as tidy or as messy as I am.
He's saying he's shaking his head. He's shaking his head.
Is he saying what? It's really mucky. Is he a mucky crafter?
Not the tidiest.
Good. I'm glad I'm not on my own, because John makes me feel really bad. He always says I'm the messiest crafter out of the TV experts. I don't believe that for 1 minute, because I've seen Sarah's mess.
The consensus in the gallery is that you are, I'm afraid.
Excuse me?
They're agreeing.
Excuse me? I don't think I am at all. I think Sarah Davis is the messiest crafter. Has anybody ever followed her? Well, I have to shift the blame somewhere, don't I? Hands up, I know I'm a dirty crafter, I am. I just literally put... You all right there, John? I am I just leave mess everywhere, wherever I go. Although, Joe, I swear to you, on my life, I tidy up at home. Instantly, I finish crafting now. That room is spotless. It's absolutely spotless. I feel like a completely different woman altogether. It's nice to have a nice, tidy, clean space to craft in.
I won't lie, I'm surprised.
I know
it's still
everybody's
tidy.
shocked.
I thought we were going to be back to, Kim and Aggie standards already by now.
Oh no, never, ever again. I was too shamed. I publicly shamed myself, didn't I? It's not like I outed myself. I did out myself. I publicly shamed myself on a live of all things. I must have been mad. That's probably going to come back and haunt me on my memories this year, isn't it?
Yeah.
Look how gorgeous that intricate piece is. It is stunning, and it
really
cuts like a dream. And like I said, you could snip into this, you could chop this up into little pieces, you could use it as a stencil, take your inks through there, but I'm going to use it as a backdrop. Now I've just added a little bit of what I thought so. I'm thinking, hang on a minute, that looks like fuchsia. Now who was the last using
Debbie,
this?
there's been a whole episode this week of the wrong ink pads with the wrong lids.
Well, has someone done this deliberately? I thought that was crushed velvet until I opened it up, and I'm thinking, so does that mean then if I go and find the fuchsia, that it'll have, let me have a little, who's been messing around with the ink pads?
Crushed velvet, that's what we were saying.
Well, do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to use plum pudding. I'll have to change it up a little bit. Yeah, I'll probably just use it up a little bit. We'll find out the culprit who's done that. So what's been going off then, Joe? What have I missed?
Who are they? They're blaming someone in the gallery. Sorry, who are you blaming in the gallery? The shelf. It's the shelf's fault, apparently, according to Nicholas.
Who's the shelf? Is this a new crafter?
No, the shelf as in the shelf that they're on.
Oh, that new shelf outside. Oh my God, my eyes popped out my head when I saw that shelf today. That's a big shelf. Lots of ink. I'm going to grab hold of a crushed velvet later. John will never know. He'll never know. But yeah, this is definitely, we're going to have a little rejig. I'll have a little play while I'm here today. But I'm just giving it a little touch around the edges just to give it a little bit of framing, and just looks absolutely gorgeous. So you can do that. And a lot of people think that you can't do that on pearlescent cardstock because they think that the ink rubs off. Well, it doesn't. It's fine. Once you've got that on, it's staying put, and it just looks absolutely lovely. So I'm going to bring in some of my, in fact, actually, I'm going to wipe that up. Just bear with. Oh, hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. No wipes. Ooh, they're slacking. You can tell Tracy's on holiday, can't you?
Says, dirty crafter. Debbie, what are you like? Says Shadiah. Also saying, reverse the camera, you'll catch the culprit. Oh, I don't know. Not sure who it was. But there has been all week this week. Craig, a couple of times over the last couple of days, has had the wrong ink pads as well, with the wrong lids on.
Oh, so it's not Craig's fault then, is it? So somebody is being a naughty elf in the studio, aren't they? That's what it is. Someone's playing, someone's playing some inky games, aren't they? That's what they're doing.
Absolutely, it looks that way.
I think so. So what I've done with this card, Joe, is this literally is an A4 piece of cardstock. Do you know our all-purpose, multi-purpose cardstock? Multi-purpose, yeah. Just scored in half using my Ultimate Pro, and that's on the A4 fold. And I've just cut down my pieces to size now. So I'm using some of that. Do you know what I was going to do? I was actually going to take my die cut out of the back there because a piece of paper would have covered it up, but I completely forgot, so I didn't do that, but never mind. So I'm just going to now just layer up all my pieces, and then if I can, I'm going to bring in some of my favourite pieces from the collection, from the vintage butterfly. So obviously the 12 by 12 papers, glorious. The beautiful pearlescent cardstock is beautiful as well, and it just matches, all the colour tones match. Again, all I've done is inked around the edge of my paper just to give it a little bit more of a distressed aged feel with that vintage theme running through it. And I am going to stick my panel onto the back like so, and then I'm using this panel now from this gorgeous collection, and I'm using it to be a backdrop for oh no, every single time I come in this studio, Joe, every single time,
what's happened?
Tape pens run out.
Oh.
So not only ink, tape pens have gone as well. Right, so let's just, and this is definitely new because you can see it's a full new reel on there. 22 metres. That just shows you how much we use in this studio. So again, I'm just going to pop that onto the backdrop. In fact, I'm going to have it that way. Yeah, I think I'm going to have it a different way. Yeah, let's have it this way. So I'm going to pop that panel like so. I'm going to have it a little bit skew with. just into the backdrop. And then I'm going to bring in, honestly, there's nothing to say about this collection other than it's absolutely fabulous. And it's butterflies. This is the perfect papillon. Is that the right way to say it?
Perfect what?
Papillon?
Papillon.
Papillon? Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
Yep. I'm going to use the opulent frame as well. I love the opulent frame piece. And this is what I'm saying about these fabulous dies. You can mix and match them with your collection, and that's exactly what I'm doing with this one, Jo. So I'm going to use the perfect papillon, and I'm going to use this and cut it out into layers. Now I've taken some of that beautiful paper because I'm going to use it slightly different. I'm going to have my solid butterfly as a paper piece from that gorgeous paper pad. To be honest, it's scraps that I've got left that I've done with this one. I'm going to use the decorative layer, so that you can see it comes in 3 pieces. Solid. Next stage, which is a little bit decorative, but not fully decorative, so it's got some nice little elements to it. And then this one, completely decorative. It's a lovely filigree design, that one. So I'm going to use that with my purple one to bring in line with the colour theme that I'm using. So again, I'll load that down with a bit of low-tack tape. And then I think I'm going to use a bit of green with this last one. So again, I'm just going to hold that down with a bit of low-tack tape. And then we're going to run that through and put our little butterfly, I say little, not so little. Let's put that all together, and I can get that all in one plate. So I'm going to put that on. I think I can get from my opulent frame. Yep, I can get my opulent frame on there as well. So let's bring in, a bit tight with that piece of paper, Debs. There we go, we'll be able to get that in together. Right, so I'm going to hold that down with some low-tack tape. Might just position that way. There we go. And I'm going to run those through all together and fill my plate completely.
Amazing.
There we go.
Amazing value on these as well. When you think getting it all together like that, $48.95. We're getting the 2 different die sets and the 2 paper pads as well for that price, or $55.35 if you are across the pond. Should I say I was not interested in these dies, Debbie? Now they are in my basket. I think the thing is with them, they slot so well into other elements as you've shown us here.
Exactly.
Just great for backgrounds, wonderful for texture as well. So it makes them super versatile, which is awesome. You get the Calais and you get the Chantilly in there as well, so you're getting those 2 different themes, which is absolutely awesome. Snap them up. Lots of you going for these this morning in this wake up call.
Absolutely. And I think that it's because you can use it as a focal part to your card, but you can also use it for, like we've said, you know, other collections that you might own that you can pop this into and use in so many different ways. Bit of texture, chop into it if you want to chop into it. What about your, do you know, scrapbook pages to hold your photos onto? I just think absolutely fabulous as well. So for me, again, it's that versatility that you have with those, and I do genuinely love them and use them a bit like nesting dies. I use them a lot more than I think I'm going to use them, because they're just such versatile dies and can be like a foreground or a background. And that's why I love them. Just think they're beautiful. Like I said, you can go back and watch that lovely craft along we did with them as well, where we made that lovely, like a card, I called it a card holder, but it's like a little portfolio album that you can make. And again...
When was that, Debbie? Can you remember?
Not so long. I actually won Card of the Week and Card of the Month with it. Yeah, I know. That's what shot me up into, like, now we're on the leaderboard. There's me, Debs and Craig with 6, with Michelle and Jan hotly behind with 5. So yeah, so that's when I did that. So it must have been last month.
It's tight at the top, isn't it?
It is.
I
had actually not won for ages.
5.
Yeah, I'd not won for ages, and then all of a sudden I literally went in front, and that was partly down to that lovely craft along that I did with these dies, and I genuinely mean that, because it won me Card of the Week and Card of the Month. So yes, that must have been last month, Jo. So what month are we in now?
We are in April.
So it would have been in March. So I would go and have a look for the craft-alongs under the Crafters TV section in March and take a look from there.
Fabulous.
Now, I'm going to just... how are we doing for time?
You've got about 7 minutes left, I believe.
That'll do. So I'm just going to use my ink pad again, and I'm just going to touch around the edges and distress them a little bit. That's what I love about our water reactive. Lots of things you can do with these ink pads, and distressing being one of them. And I'm going to do that around all of them. And again, not so heavy-handed. Doesn't matter. I've got one all pre-planned, but just take your time. Don't be like a Debbie and I'm so heavy-handed with things sometimes, I forget. So again, just pop that to one side, literally just give it a little edging. And it softens it as well. Sometimes it can be, you know, quite harsh, not harsh cuts, but do you know what I mean? You soften the look of it when you add a little bit of distress ink around the edge. And again, I'm going to do it round, careful Debbie, careful, around my little delicate piece. And then we're going to stick these all together and then add them on to our project with our lovely, now then, was it not the chantilly, it was the other one, wasn't it? Which one was it, Jo, that I used? Calais, the Calais one that I used. So again, I'm just going to put those pieces, let me just grab my cleaning. There we go, clean that up. And then we're going to put these together. So I'm going to pop on the back, and I'm just going to pop it on the back of the body because I'm going to have mine lifted slightly. So we're going to just line them up now. So you literally sit that onto the body of the middle part, and you've got your little wings lifted. It gives it extra flight. But equally, all three of those dies would work beautifully on their own. They're not just separate pieces, not just a put together piece, which creates this lovely layered butterfly effect, but they work individually as well. And again, when you put it together, you can see just how gorgeous it looks. And I've used colours that match my paper. So I always choose papers first and then choose me inky colours when that's how I design cards when I'm working out my card. I usually start with a paper and then work it the other way around. Also I've done with these two though, Jo, is I've added a couple of little gems onto the centre parts.
Nice.
And I've got my second piece that I use the inner part, so there's three pieces to that ornate frame. So you've got this second piece which I used and cut into the cards, so that paper, sorry again, and used the stamp happy birthday with those beautiful butterflies on, and again just distress around the edge using that crushed velvet. I've already popped some foam pads onto the back, so I've taken my foam pads off, and we'll have that on the centre panel. And then again I'm just going to take my foam pad and place it, and it's like a decorative nesting die, this one, but you can see how beautifully it all works together. And then I'm just going to finish that off now by adding my butterfly. Where's my solid tape pen? We'll pop that one on. And I'm just going to now attach one on one corner.
Pat says I didn't catch what colour ink pad you used for distressing there, Debbie.
I was using the ones I used at home was crushed velvet, but because we've got the little issue with the ink pads, I've used plum pudding, which came, I think it was one of the Christmas ranges, where we had three different colours. They were like a limited edition, but we've still got some in the studio, so I've used that one instead. But it is crushed velvet. This is how I've used it at home. Now I'm going to just give my little butterfly wings a little bit of a lift. Give it a little shape with my fingers as well, but you can use your bone folders and pop that into place. But it gives it a nice definition. It gives it a little bit more like it's literally flying off your page just by lifting those wings up. And there you go, you've got yourself using that beautiful, gorgeous Calais background piece, and then the beautiful butterfly collection as well, both together, to create yourself some really lovely, I mean, you could even frame these, you know, this is the kind of stuff that you could use for home decor, as well as card making, as well as scrapbooking, tons and tons of ways you can use them. But look how beautiful they work together with the vintage butterflies as well. Absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, and you don't need to use all of them. You could absolutely chop them down, use sections, panels, half of them if you want to. You've got loads of different options. Let me take you back through then what you're getting included. So you're going to get the chantilly, which is this one just here. Do you think, all I can think about is chantilly cream every time I read this one out. Yeah, I start to get hungry, Debbie. This one here is the Calais, as you can see just there. Then you're also going to get the two new pads included as well. So it's a mix of the linen and the pearlescent that you've got in here. So you've got the pastels and you've also got the neutrals here as well. Debbie, did you see in the cafe, have you seen what's in the cafe this morning?
No.
Have you seen the homemade Rocky Road that's out there?
Oh, I did.
And I thought to myself, I should have ordered a piece. So I know what's going to happen. It's going to get to lunch. After we finish the show, it's going to be gone. I think if you're finished now, Debbie, you should go and put my name on a piece. Just reserve it. If you could just reserve me a piece. if there's still some left, reserve one. Thanks, Debbie. Right, I mean, it's been playing on my mind the first hour of that show. Let's have a little look as well at that brand new launch for you then. It is, of course, the new gatefolds that we are looking at. You've got 6 incredible designs within here. A really cool concept for you as well. They're all on the gatefold concept. They've all got the different style sort of closing mechanism, and then because you've got the 2 different panels, it's up to you. You can either cut them the same or you can have one of each panel in there. You can get that choice. The other great thing as well, because what you've then got is the removable outside edge, you can then actually start to put your matte layers behind and create something really cool. So that one was your floral swirls. You're also going to get the floral meadow, the lace and scroll. This is your opulent botanicals. You've also got there the classic lace, and you can also go for this one, which is your deco vines. So you're going to get all 6 of them. If you want to pick and choose, you can, 2 for £26 or $35, but you get the best value when you go for the whole collection. And I know you're definitely going to end up with full set syndrome if you don't go for all of them, as we hear so often. Debbie, pleasure as always to be with you. I'll see you back here at 2 p.m.
2 p.m, yep, I shall see you for that launch day.
Amazing, that's 9 a.m. if you're over on the East Coast. Debbie will be joining us, but don't go anywhere because in a few minutes, Mark and Visible Image will be up with us, so I'll see you in a sec.
Welcome to Club Inspire, the crafters' companion community where you can feed your crafty obsession. Join our fantastic loyalty club today and receive 20% off your first order. We'll also give you 250 points to help get you started. Other benefits of joining Club Inspire include exclusive special offers and discounts for Club Inspire members only, exclusive sneak peek previews of brand new product launches, and of course the Club Inspire community group on Facebook, where you can access exclusive content such as downloads, offers and inspiration, and of course you can chat and share your makes with other members. You'll receive 1 point for every £1, dollar or euro you spend, and the more points you receive, the more benefits you'll unlock. So what are you waiting for? Sign up, join the club and start rewarding yourself today.
Quick Buy, all your crafting must-haves in a flash.
Make your die cutting tools last as long as your love for crafting with the Gemini Accessories clear cutting plates. Your metal dies are put under lots of pressure with each pass through your Gemini die cutting machine. So to make sure they cut crisp, clean, delicate designs for years to come, you need to look after your dies, and that's where the Gemini Accessories clear cutting plates come in.
Quick Buy, get yours now. Quick Buy, all your crafting must-haves in a flash.
Make light work of intricate and delicate die-cutting designs with the Pokey Tool from Crafter's Companion. An absolute essential part of any paper crafter's kit, its precise tip has been designed to release the tiniest pieces to reveal your finished results with absolute precision. And to make sure your finished project is perfect, each Pokey Tool has a rubber tip protector, so there's no risk of damaging your die-cutting design or yourself. The Crafter's Companion Pokey Tool is such an essential craft item, we've included 2 in each set.
Quick Buy, get yours now.
Very, very busy on those launches that you saw a minute ago. Mark is back.
Yes.
How are you?
Good, thank you.
Great to be back with you
Yeah,
again.
you
Lovely
too.
to have you back in the studio with us.
I know, so happy to be here.
Yes, you always bring us some cool stuff. You're like the cool dude of crafting. That's how I look at you. The
Thank you.
coolest man in craft. That's what I'm going to refer to you now as we go forward. 3 brand new collections
Yes.
here today with us. All of them very busy, by the way. All over 10% gone, which is really, really exciting. For anyone that's new to Visible Image that hasn't seen your shows before, what are you guys about? Because for me, I feel like your stuff is completely different to anything else that's out there.
We're very modern, more contemporary, but with a classical style. We're a husband and wife team. We're based in South Wales, so yeah.
Amazing.
Really cool.
Well, glad to have you back. This is the what? Fourth time now?
Third. I'm thinking third time.
Third time.
Yeah.
The fourth will be here soon. It'll come true in the end, as they say. Right, we're going to dive in then. Shall we have a little look first? We're going to go first to the Summer Days, which is the one with the bee there. Now, what you're getting is you're paying for the 2 stamp sets and you're getting the stencil included in there for free. Am I right in thinking as well, no one's seen this anywhere.
No,
this is
this
first
is
opportunity to
this
get
is
your
launch.
hands on this.
Yes, launch on TV. Yes.
Ah, amazing. So make sure you snap it out. It's understandably why it's so busy. Just beautiful. People love bees, don't they? For good reason. But the texture in these. There's something about these bees as well. There's got a very modern vibe to them.
Yeah, very modern. We've got 5 in this set. You've got 5 bees, so you've got 3 kind of like overhead, and then you've got 2 on the sides as well. So coming in on the side. So whether they will work with our stamps or any of the stamps that you may have in your collection, that putting a bee on there with your own flowers, it looks amazing.
It really, really does. And again, the stamp sets and the stencils just work so well together. Bees so popular. I live in Manchester, and they're absolutely everywhere. It's like the symbol of the city. So, but they do seem to be very, very popular. I remember when bees used to be annoying, but now it's like if you see a bee, you give it some sugared water, bring it in, ask if it wants to stay the night, borrow the car. We love bees now, don't we?
Yeah.
Sort of change the way you feel about them.
Especially for when I was a child, bees, you always like scared of them. But now, well, I think everyone loves a bee, so great.
Absolutely. So we've got the bees in there, and then the one that everyone really is loving, well, Debbie is really loving. She hasn't stopped going on about it all morning, is, of course, those flowers, which are gorgeous, aren't they?
Oh, yes. The flowers, the daisy grunge. So let's have a look at some of those, shall we?
I need to let you know, approaching 20% of this particular collection has already gone. You haven't even seen a demo on these yet. I'm imagining as well the flowers are going to be so versatile. I love that some of the samples are quite pretty and some of them are quite grungy, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, they lend themselves obviously to whichever style you're with your clean and simple or your mixed media. They look fantastic. Just stamped out on its own, just a very clean and simple card. You can give that to somebody very quick to make as well.
Yeah, really cool. I love a tag mark as well, and these tags are so cool that I've got these on there. And what I love as well about all the different samples you bring is a really good variation in sizes, whether it's sort of big home decor products or just little sort of simple cards. They seem to work on everything.
Each set, especially the daisy, you've got the main flower head, but you've also got like a flower bunch as well. So you can do an awful lot with this set, and it's people are loving it.
Yeah, they really, really are. And then what we've also got as well that's coming along with that, I've got to show you all these samples because they are absolutely divine. They really are. And then also coming along with that, of course, you've then got the stencil, which is absolutely free of charge, which is really nice, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, lots of people have got a hexagon stencil, but when I designed this one, I thought to myself, let's layer up those hexagons so that you could use it with bees, or it's more contemporary, and you can put that behind anything that you've got as well.
Amazing. Really, really cool. Now, the other thing that you might want to be going for alongside those as well is there's a matching die to go with each one of these sets, which is brilliant. So the die that you put together for this one is let me just get this right, was this one just here, is it the broken mesh will go well with. To be fair though, Mark, I think all 3 of the dies will work brilliantly with all of the sets.
Yes, I mean, think about it. The broken mesh could be used with butterflies. It could be more contemporary for a man's card. You've got the middle one, which is the fibres. It's great with grass. It could be waves. It could be flames. And then you've got the ripped fishnet, which could be used more of maybe for a feminine card or for those butterflies that are escaping through a net, maybe. But it's amazing.
Yeah, it really are. All 3 of those very, very busy on those dies that we've got there. So that's your first collection there, which is your Summer Days, $23.98, $34.77 is your price. You can use your Club Inspired discount as well, even when we bring you other brands that we know you're going to love. Under £20 or $28 as a Platinum member, which I think is absolutely awesome. I'm going to pass you those ones back. Let's have a do-si-do with those. We're going to have a little look now at this collection. This is amazing. So we're looking at the Beach Days collection. So you've got the At the Beach stamps and the Wave stamps. The Wave is so cool and great as well, maybe for sort of more masculine cards that I know people really struggle with, don't they?
Well, I mean, this particular one, this is showing the fibres as well, the fibres die.
Yes, really cool. What's it been cut out of?
Right, well, it's just out of plain card, but then it's doubled up, you see, with another die in a different colour, and then rotated, and you get that real kind of wavy look as well.
Yeah, you do. And again, home decor, this is amazing. This canvas is absolutely incredible. Jill has made that. Give Jill a shout. I mean,
amazing. It's gorgeous,
really cool. And then how's that been achieved there, Mark? That sort of raised
texture
element.
paste. Yeah, texture paste through. I mean, don't just think of it for beaches. I mean, those feet could be used for baby cards as well.
Absolutely, yes, indeed they could. And again here, love this one that's been used with so many of the dies behind there as well. Is this on a piece of cardboard?
It is on a piece of cardboard.
What a great way to upcycle packaging.
Yeah. I mean, people would love that in their bathroom, wouldn't they? It's a lovely piece of work.
Absolutely, and that one is super, super cool as well. More examples here too. I love this one. There's something quite sort of painterly about some of these, quite subtle about them if you want to go down that route as well.
I mean, this is using the Ride Wave set. I mean, what I like about it is because we've got kind of realistic waves as well in there, so that instead of having to maybe use your white pen and just doing a squiggle, you can stamp this with white embossing powder, and it's going to look absolutely amazing.
Amazing, it really, really is cool. I love this one just here as well. I hadn't seen this particular one with a matching tag too, but look at that.
So combining a couple
cool
of different
that?
sets, it looks absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, really cool. Over 10% of this one now has gone. I must show you this. It's going to be a lot. I must show you this one. I'm only going to do a couple of these samples. They're so amazing. Again, that is really cool. A really lovely little, that could be a wall plaque or a little keepsake. These shells are awesome too that have been done here.
Isn't that lovely? Well, hopefully you'll get to demonstrate those later on.
I hope you will. I hope you will, before they sell out. And then, of course, with that one, you are getting then the stencil as well. And the stencil, you saw, was used in a lot of the samples, wasn't it, the stencil? So you know it's going to be a really great one. And you're not paying for the stencil as well, which is great. Worth £6 or $8.69 the stencil. So you get that totally free of charge, which I think is absolutely awesome. So you're getting that one included in there as well. Right, I'm just going to grab the... where are they? Are they over here?
Put them over there,
yes. Where did they go? Here they are. Let's just grab these ones quickly for you. The Celebrations is the other one that we are looking at. So in here, you are going to get the Anyone for Bubbles, always, and also the Afternoon Tea, and then the Bubbles and Fizz stencil are completely free of charge. But these are cool. I'm definitely thinking these are going to be great for like the Jubilee, the upcoming Jubilee,
I mean,
summer parties, all of that sort of stuff.
Everyone who doesn't like afternoon tea, and well, the cake is gorgeous. And I like this as well. With the afternoon tea, you've got the pouring as well, the pouring and the splash of the tea.
Yeah.
So that makes it stand out a bit from other sets maybe. But look at that, the glossy accents on that, absolutely amazing.
Really, really cool. And then these are there's something so classy, isn't there, about the one with the champagne?
Yeah, I mean, you know, who doesn't like, you know, a bit of bubbly as well?
Absolutely.
In the afternoon with the strawberries maybe.
The afternoon, the evening, the morning, tiffins, 11s, you know. Other than that, just when I'm thirsty, to be honest, Mark.
Yeah.
But you've got that in there. Absolutely. And again, I think great little keepsakes and home decor items.
Birthdays, weddings, they are so versatile. I mean, they actually go with our other set. We have brought on previously our drink sets, and they've sold out. And this was just a new addition to that, because I think they're amazing.
I must show you this sample as well. I had a little earlier. How cool is that one? Absolutely adore that. With those glossy accents, glossy highlights been done on there.
Yeah, it's gorgeous, isn't it?
Really, really lovely. And this one, that was the one that was giving me sort of Jubilee vibes. Absolutely. Over 10% of this one has also now sold out and gone. So you're going to get both the stamp sets in here, and then you are also getting as well the stencil too. So you get absolutely all of that. Over 10% has gone. Again, $23.98 or $34.77 if you want to go for those. Let me just, I know you've got loads to get prepared and ready for, so you're going to go and get ready for some demonstrations. And I want to just show you again those dies that we've got for you, because these are amazing. They really, really are. Let me take you through the 3 different dies that you've got just here. So, I mean, although there is one for each of the sets, absolutely they're going to mix and match. And in fact, everyone that's going for the dies, you are going for all of them. So the first one here is the broken mesh that you can see, all about just adding texture to these, whether it's in the background or the foreground of your designs. You've then got this one here. This is your framed fibres. Again, great to be doubled up. And you've got the torn fishnet down there too. What I would say is we have a lot less of the dies than we have of the stamp and stencil collections. So 20% of each of the collections gone, or the die's gone. 20% of each of the die's gone, and the collection's really not far behind. So I think if you want the option to be getting the dies with the stamps, it's definitely going to have to be in this wake-up call for you. We are going to go back to the Summer Days collection. 16 stamps in here and a 6x6 stencil. The platinum price is quite remarkable really on this, isn't it? Under £20 or $28. Lots of you ordering at the moment. Let me see what you guys have all got to say about these collections. Lily says, good morning Mark, fabulous launch. I watched your live the other night. I've been waiting for today. I purchased everything, plus added in the daisy stencil from last time, just brilliant. Pat sends paper hugs, says, I love everything. And I'm totally in love with these collections. Gilmore says, back again. Hello Mark, placed my order now. I can enjoy your demos. And Lily says that footprint stencil is going to be perfect for scrapbooking album for my grandson. Yeah, again, all of these items I think brilliant when you use them together as a collection, brilliant when you split them out. You know, they've very much got options of using them on their own. Right, Mark, what would you like to kick us off with first?
I think I'm going to use the Be Crafty. Great set. This is one of the ones that I personally, I absolutely love. We've got 5 bees in there, and as I say, I'm going to focus on the large element bee, which is a gorgeous size. But we've got some smaller bees in there as well, which is absolutely gorgeous. I do like, just to highlight, we've got a smaller version of the stencil as well, so it all combines everything together, all the elements. We've got a little piece of pollen in there as well, so that's great. So let's go make a start, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start off with, we will later on do some mixed media, but first of all I'm going to do like a clean and simple card. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to ink up this gorgeous bee. I'm using the VersaFine black, my black of choice, but if you've got other blacks then great. So just ink it up. I'm using a stamping platform. This isn't particularly a large bee, too big to actually do it old school, but for TV, that's what I'm doing. So I want to go in there a little bit more make it a little bit darker. There's
so much texture in that stamp, isn't there?
Yes.
Especially the bee's body. It almost looks like you'd expect it to feel furry. There's so much texture in the stamp.
Yeah, to me, bees are a little bit furry anyway, so it's great that you can do that. And I like, the ability to kind of put some texture onto the wings as well. So I've inked that up now, so it looks absolutely gorgeous. I'm just going to clear emboss that. So move that out of the way. Use some embossing powder.
Fabulous.
And it's my embossing powder of choice, obviously, is using some clear, which is gorgeous. And it obviously, if you're doing craft and you can use black embossing powder, but I always find that you're going to be left with a few specks everywhere. So normally I try and use clear wherever I can. So let's just heat emboss that up, and then we'll see the magic happen.
Yeah, especially on black stamped images, it really does make it pop, doesn't it? Such a great technique.
So you can heat from above or below. Heating from below normally gives it a slightly shinier or glossier appearance. So it's a good trick to do that, but sometimes it can be a bit difficult to hold. So depending on what you're doing, it's just a personal choice.
Absolutely amazing. Getting busier and busier across all 3 of those collections. Mary-Ann says about the stencils, how you'd go about using the stencils on a 5x7 card. Well, I guess you could just... You could just stencil and layer the stencils up if you wanted to.
Yes, you can. Obviously, the stencils or the dies?
The stencils, I believe.
Okay, well, as I say, you can just, obviously this is a frameless stencil, so you can actually just kind of duplicate and move it, shift it down. Yeah. So that's how I would personally do it. So we've got a gorgeous bee here now, and what I'm going to use is, later on I shall put some texture paste through it on a later show, but first of all I'm just doing a relatively clean and simple card, so I'm going to put my stencil on and blend some inks through it. So a couple of colours that I'm going to use is probably I'm using mustard seed, and I'll probably use a wild honey, which is very apt for a card like this as well. So you don't have to be too specific as to where I'm going. Again, this is why one of the things that, sometimes when you're doing, like the person who was asking the question, how do you do a 5x7? You don't actually have to cover the complete card with the stencil. You can just, do elements of it, and it actually sometimes works out better.
They seem like a really nice thick stencil, these as well, Mark.
Yeah, these are all made in the UK, and they're 350 micron, which is as thick as a stencil that we can possibly get.
Amazing.
Which is very nice. So just blend in a couple of colours here. So I'm using mustard seed, and there's also a wild honey as well. So just get a few more texture elements. Again, I'm doing. If you want to stick the stencil down, you can, but I'm kind of going old school and just holding it. People who do want to get inky can, but you don't have to. So again, now what I'm going to do is, if I'm creating something, you've got to obviously think about like the balancing of your card as well. So I'm just moving the stencil down to the other side of the B, just for a little bit of balance and contrast. And then going through the stencil again. So I'm just holding this down with my hand. And you don't have to be too fussy either. This is how you're going to get something really nice looking, but without too much effort. And I do like a clean and simple card, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the thing is with your, the great thing I think about all your designs is that they lend themselves to a real more is more,
Yes.
or a clean and simple card. They seem to be able to be used across the two different ones. Those stencils as well, could we emboss with those if we put them through our machine with our embossing?
Yes, you can, with the rubber
sheet?
mat, yeah, definitely. And that's another good idea as well. You could emboss through it and then maybe use some Gildan waxes or grunge. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to jump onto using some of the tri-blend pens just to basically give a little bit of colour to the bee itself.
Amazing.
Again, this is so easy to do. And, you know, First card on the show, I'm doing a clean and simple one, just to build up, just to build myself up. Sometimes, you know, starting off with something a little bit more complicated may put people off, but I do love mixed media. People shouldn't be afraid of mixed media. Everybody does mixed media, or sometimes they don't realise they're doing mixed media.
Yeah.
So, again, once you put a couple of different elements onto your card, you are doing mixed media.
Patson's Paper Hug says, I can't believe how 3D that bee looks. It is amazing. It really is amazing.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, and there's also that of that Be Happy stamp set. You know, it's just one small element, isn't it? There's so many other elements in there that you're going to have fun playing with as well. You know, the sentiments, the embellishments, the texture that you get in there. You've got a bit of everything.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like I said, this is just one stamp from the set so far. So I will use a few other items as well now. So let's just want to stick this onto my card blank, just to give it. And you see how it starts to pop now with the black on the background.
Beautiful.
It just kind of works together. So just stick this card on. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I've actually got a few sentiments from this set. Again, great fonts as well. So we've got the Be Happy. So I'm going to stick that on. I'm going to use my Collal 3D gel glue. And there we go. This is one of my favourite glues now as well, by the way.
Yeah, it's a really handy one, that.
Yeah, it's very useful.
I love that you put it on exactly the same way that Craig puts it on as well.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, he does it exactly this way as well. Uses a pokey tool.
Oh yeah, you know, I do have the syringe. I just I find personally it's easier for myself when I'm doing it this way as well, a little bit quicker. But I mean, lots of people are using the foam pads, but I find, you know, once you've stuck it with a foam pad, it's hard to pull it off again. So this gives you a little bit of wiggle room as well. So if you want to move things around a bit, or you're not totally happy,
I guess it's just finding what works best for you, isn't it? Which is so true across a lot of different things that you do in craft.
Now, a couple of other things I want to do on there is we want to just put a little bit more on the wings. So we're going to use some. Shall I use? I tell you what, I'll use some sparkle glitter as well. So that's really nice on the wings, just to give it a little bit of contrast. Especially, you know, if you're holding a card up to the light and there's something a little bit more special to your card as well. So a little bit of glitter glue. I think that looks really nice.
Getting busier and busier on this collection now. The price is amazing. As a platinum member, under £20 to get both sets of the stamps and the free stencil in there, and a lot of you adding the dies into your basket as well. And I know you're going to absolutely love using those with these collections and across all of your different collections that you might be using them with.
I mean, later on I shall definitely use the one of the dies to go with this. So we're going to really mix it up. I'll actually put some texture paste through the stencil as well, just to show how that looks as well, and we'll do some spraying techniques. And right, I tell you what else I'll do as well. Should we stick some, I'll tell you what, I've got some little gems there that look like pollen, so I think I'll stick a few of those on as well.
Nice.
And this will be using the glossy highlights, I think they call it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll use...
Oh, you'll find that over on the website.
Oh, we've got too much on there now, typical. That's, that's what you get for live TV. Let's just grab that now.
Yeah, don't worry about that.
Luckily it dries clear, so we're good. We're all good. There we go. Always the same with live TV. Right, okay, we'll try again, Mark. There we go, so just a little bit there. That's what you get for squeezing a little bit too hard. There's a lot in this bottle as well, by the way. Oh, there we go. Just a little dab there for my gel.
Fabulous. Gilmore says, I love this. My daughter just told me the other day she didn't like the bee that was stalking her because it was fluffy. But I like them because they are fluffy.
So we're going to put 3 gems on there. Just going to dip that with my hand there.
And really, I mean, you really have just used how many elements of the stamp set there? Very, very little.
Yeah, I mean, this is why, if you look at the set closely, the actual stamp set, you'll see that I've actually managed to squeeze an awful lot into that set. I try not to waste too much space when I'm creating things, so and it's great because people like to have more things to play with and different variations on the same theme. I think I'll do a couple more gems there. I've just found a new version of using the just putting a blob on my finger and then picking up. So I found that's a new technique. I've just created a new technique for myself. So just blob up. Again, this is sometimes things are outside my comfort zone. I don't normally use gems, but sometimes they're great fun.
Yeah, it really finishes it off beautifully, doesn't it? So I guess the problem is a lot of time, Mark, knowing when to stop.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes, on a clean and simple card, sometimes less is more.
Yeah.
Now, there's another thing I do want to do is, I'll tell you what we shall do. You're talking about a bit of, do I have a black? I do have a black, and no, I'll tell you what, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to do the inside of the card. Sometimes people forget to do the inside of a card, so what I'll do on the inside, so that's kind of pretty much it for the outside of the card, but the inside I like to do something else as well. So let me just open that out a second. And this is some Crafter's Companion, the Centura Pearl cardstock that I'm using. And I've already done the sentiment. I've pinched the sentiment from the Daisy set.
Ah, okay,
because I think that really just works, doesn't it? Having the word smile as well. So
it's great to see that they will mix and match with each other too.
And what else I'd like to do is, I'll tell you what I shall do, is we'll use the we've got a lovely little hexagon in there as well, in that set. So that's a great stamp as well. So if I stamp the hexagon using some distress ink just over the top, the water-based ink, and we'll stamp that over the top, just slightly over the smile, like so. We want it in the background, we want it subtle because we still want to be able to see smile. And then the last thing I'll do is, I think we'll stamp a little bee as well. This is one of the smaller bees from the set, and I like it because it's a side on. When you've got a card and you want to put a bee, and sometimes the angle doesn't look right, well, having one of these bees will just work perfectly. So I think we'll put a bee there as well. Well, yeah, do you know what? Yeah, I think I'll put the bee there.
Perfect.
So, and we'll quickly colour that in, just quickly.
Really cool, very busy, getting very, very busy, especially on this Summer Days collection. Shadiah says, Prince Joe, it's snowing in Ottawa in Canada. Well, thank you for that, Shadiah. The weather's bonkers at the moment. I don't know what's quite going on. It's all over the show, isn't it?
Do you know what else I'm going to do on the outside? I decided, going off-piste, I'm going to use, inside the set as well, is we've got a gorgeous little pollen stamp. So,
right.
Do you know what? I'm going to put some pollen on there as well, just because it's a bee. There.
Ah, beautiful.
Again, you know when you can finish or stop. I think you know what? I think I'm done with that.
Okay.
I think I'm done. So that is our finished card. So outside, Outside is the bee. We've got very, very clean and simple, which I like. And then on the inside,
Amazing.
we have the smile as well. I think
How
that really
cool is
works,
that?
doesn't it?
Really, really cool. But just, you know, you've done quite a clean and simple card there. Just to show you another one of the samples that I've got over here, just shows you something else you can do with it as well. If you really want to build up the layers and the textures, absolutely you can. This one has got multiple layers of the bees, multiple layers of that dye in the background there as well, and gives it a completely different look to the one that you have just created. So it really shows you the two ends of the spectrum of what you can do with these. I'm going to remind you of all three collections, and I'm going to give you an opportunity to check out because it is super busy over on the website at the moment. So this is the first one, the Summer Days. Now remember what you're getting in here then. So you're going to get that Bee Happy, a really lovely big statement bee in the centre of there. The smaller bees around it. You've got the honeycomb, the pollen, and the sentiments in there too. A quarter of the Summer Days has gone. This is the busiest one so far, which understandable, seeing as it's one you've seen demonstrated. Then you have this one. This is your beach day. I didn't talk to you about the, how rude of me, didn't tell you about the daisies. Remember, you're getting all the daisies in here as well, again with the sentiments in there and the embellishing elements. Then the beach days is the next one that we have just here. So you've got Ride the Waves. Really nice big stamps in here. You've got that surfer dude in there. Lots of little embellishing elements for you too. You've then also got these down here, which is your at the beach. You've got your shells, your starfish there. You've also then got sentiments in here too. And then that stencil is going to be really cool. Whether it is new baby cards, whether it is these beach themed cards, you're going to find loads of different ways to use that. $23.98, $34.77, $23.98, $34.77. A fifth of the stock of this one has gone. You haven't even seen this one demonstrated yet. And then we have this one just here, which is your celebrations. You've got that wonderful afternoon tea in there, and the Anyone for Bubbles, and that amazing free stencil too. Right, it's really busy across everything. So much so I'm going to give you an opportunity to get yourself checked out early doors. So you get your baskets checked out, and then we'll come back and we'll have another fantastic demonstration from.
Welcome to Crafters TV. With more than 35 hours of live shows each week, it's your home for all things craft. We shine the spotlight on new and innovative crafting products with live tutorials and demonstrations. Join our family of craft experts where fun happens every day.
Quiet. The neighbours.
I'm all out of Zoom. I'm so lost without you. I'm not singing. I'm not singing.
Lisa, if you email in, don't send a picture of your air fryer. Make sure it's something creative.
Get creative and craft along. With our amazing deals, your next craft project is just a click away. Tune in live 7 days a week, or you can watch us on Catch Up at crafterscompanion.com, Facebook, or our YouTube channels. You can chat to us, craft along, and meet new friends by joining our online crafting community.
You entertain us. You give us a community to talk, you know, in the chat. That wouldn't happen without you guys. It's like Crafters Companion is magical. There's magic here.
Joy, there's not a dry eye in the studio here. Debbie's welling up, I'm welling up.
There's a show for every type of crafter, from first-time dabblers to full-time makers. Crafters TV. Create every day. Quick Buy. All your crafting must-haves in a flash. Draw, decorate, and customize your world with the colorful Spectrum Noir acrylic paint markers. Each premium paint marker gives opaque coverage on ceramic, glass, wood, and let's not forget paper, cardstock, and canvas. These versatile markers are filled with highly pigmented premium water-based paint, offering beautiful, rich, and smooth coverage. The colors can be blended together, and the fast-drying opaque paint is ideal for layering. A 3mm bullet tip offers smooth strokes, and a precision valve mechanism allows rich and consistent flow with no clogging. Quick Buy. All your crafting must-haves in a flash.
Extremely busy, lots of you taking the opportunity to check out there. We're going to move on and we're going to have a little look at Beach Days next is where we are going. These two awesome stamp sets in here. I particularly love the design on the shells and stuff. I think for travel scrapbooks, these are going to work so, so well. Who doesn't love being at the beach, let's face it. There is no better place to be on a nice summer's day, Mark, is there? What would you like to share with us on these then, Mark?
Next I'm going to share the, I'm going to use the stencil stencil to start off with. But first things I need to do is to well, yeah, somebody's telling me in the ear that it's sandpaper. It's not.
Is it no, it's not sandpaper.
It's not sandpaper. I'm going to show you exactly how, like this, you can get this colour like a beach kind of colour. It kind of looks beachy to me.
Yeah, it does.
I created this by playing. I didn't know what kind of colours were the best to use. So let's start off with just simply plain piece of white. This is St. Durapurl, just the opposite side. It's not the shiny side, it's the other side. A few colours to use, but there is a magical colour which I will show you. These are obviously the Distress oxide sprays, but if you don't have exactly the same colours, you can probably get away with different ones. So I'll start off with using some squeezed lemonade. So if people want to ask questions later, they can. So just put a little bit of squeezed lemonade, and typical on live TV, my spray sticks every now and again. That's fine. Next colour you want to use is a little bit of mustard seed. Now this is where we get a little bit more inky and this is my kind of happy place. So,
oh wow, that's really vibrant, isn't it? Love that.
It's gorgeous that. Now, to get the kind of real beach colour is this colour, which I only bought it recently, which is called frayed burlap. It's kind of a browny, bluey colour. I'm not really sure what colour it is, but it's like a magical colour, and I kind of love this.
Oh, wow.
So you spritz a bit of this on, okay, and then one of the next things you do is just use a little bit of, my finger's there, so we'll go back over that. Normally I hold things with a fingerprint, and then all we do is spritz it with a bit of water.
Oh, it sort of brings them all together, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's really cool. And then we'll quickly dry that off with a heat gun.
Any questions you've got, get them into me and I'll pop them across to Mark. That's a very quiet heat tool you've got, Mark.
Oh, thank you.
Ours are very loud here in the studio. Love the card with the different elements. I love all the little details in the visible image item, says Pat sends paper hugs. What a wonderful card. Can't wait to get my goodies and have a play. Totally got me excited about mixed media and all the possibilities ahead of me, says Lily. And Miriam says, beach is my happy place. I absolutely love this set. Lots of you loving this set, lots of you going for it in this first show this afternoon here on Crafters TV, or this morning, of course, depending on where you are. Lots of you I know are across the pond, up bright and early, joining us, which is always lovely. We very much appreciate your company in all of our shows. Remember, 2 more great shows to come throughout the rest of the day today as well. 2 p.m. here in the UK, 9 a.m. East Coast. We've got that launch party. Mark of Visible Image will be back in that show, of course, as well. And then Creative Cravings a little later today, 6 p.m. here in the UK, 1 p.m. if you are across on the East Coast, 10 a.m. for you West Coasters too. So a really fun, exciting day coming up all day here on Crafters TV.
So, normally you'd let that dry more realistically, and you're going to end up with that colour. So pretty is getting there. You can see that's still a little bit wet. So I'm going to jump to one that I've already dried. So let's just put this to one side. Again, that's how you achieve. Sometimes people will ask, well, I can do that, but my yellows are too yellow, and that's what you don't want. So this is one that's dry, and actually just stuck it onto a piece of card. The next thing I'm going to do is we're going to use the stencil. So we're going to use I'm going to just line up as to where I want it. I think I'm going to have it around about there. And the next thing I'm going to do is going to put some texture paste through it. Now this is white grit paste, which has got a little bit of texture to it. The only thing I've done to it is I've already sprayed a little bit of the frayed burlap into it. Now this is like, obviously you don't do it with a brand new one, because that's the only colour you're going to have.
For anyone that's not used texture paste before, Mark, any tips on sort of using it for the first time? Because I know a lot of our viewers maybe will be giving this a go for the first time when they get this home.
Well, the only thing that you do have to remember is that sometimes the texture paste will suck some of the colour from your card, whatever the colour is behind. So you just have to bear in mind sometimes that can happen. The other thing that sometimes is good to do is just a good technique is sometimes if you don't want your texture paste on places the way you don't want it to go, because sometimes we've got feet on there as well, so I don't want those little feet on my project at the moment. We're just going to use that, and you can actually stick this down as well. So I'm just going to cover up the pieces that I don't want to get in the way. So this is just using post-it notes, so you can use your tape or your low-tack tape. Just I'm using post-it notes just so I don't make too much of a mess. Yeah. You're intrigued. Good question and good point. Do you know, I think, do you know, yes, I think I'll put the feet. I'm just wondering where to put my feet. I've lost my thread on my project now. Oh, yes, I do remember, sorry. Do you know what? I can't remember what my project was now.
I think
I did so many projects.
Yeah, I think that's I think that's half the fun.
I might have to change this now, so I can't remember whether I was using this one or not. Okay, we'll go.
I think half the fun sometimes, you know, is thinking what you're going to start with when you start out, and then what you actually end up with. And seeing the difference between what you thought you were going to get and what you end up with.
Okay.
I guess as long as you take pleasure in the journey, that's all that matters, isn't it? As long as you get somewhere. Fabulous, get something fabulous at the end.
Do you know what? I'm going to cover that. Do you know, I've remembered what I was doing now. Do you know, I've done so many projects, sometimes you go, oh, was it this one or the next one? So, right, okay, I know where we're going. So just covering this part, I'm just going to use the feet. And I'm going to basically paste the texture paste through this. So just line up where you want it. And then put the texture paste through. And this gives a kind of like a sand colour. So this is gorgeous. When it dries, it will dry darker as well. So always remember, if you add in a little bit of colour to that, that's going to dry a little bit darker than you think it's going to be as well.
Oh, it's just like buttering toast, Mark.
Is that how you butter your toast?
That's how I butter my. Yeah, oh, a bit more butter than that, to be honest.
With texture paste or butter?
You've got a butter, but heavy and thick.
Okay.
Yeah.
The low-calorie one, of course.
No, absolutely not. If you're going to have butter, you've got to have the proper one, as far as I'm concerned.
So we just take that off now, and we should have something
fabulous.
Half decent. Cool is that? There we go. So I'll just put this down to one side for a moment. Now, next thing I'm going to do, because I've just remembered now what I'm doing. Now, I've got some lovely pieces here from the fibers dye, the torn fishnet dye, which are absolutely gorgeous. So I'm going to use that. And what's great about this dye is that you can cut into it. You can cut into it, so you can create different elements. So I'm going to just stick some of these elements down, and this is going to give us this really gorgeous beach theme as well. So I'm going to use some glue. So just use some glue to stick these down.
Someone was asking if they were Post-it notes you were using to mask off with. Someone said they've never seen clear Post-it notes before.
Translucent, translucent Post-it notes, yeah. They do sell them. Yeah. I know they do sell them because I've got them, obviously. But there are different brands that actually is Post-it. I'm not sure whether they still do those or not.
Right.
But
I'll have a little look for those online.
There's definitely. I did Google it. I did Google it the other day to find out whether they still sold those kind of Post-its, and they do. So we're good on that. Where did I put my? Looking for my Collal glue. Now. This is, you know, I love that. How good is this dye? I just absolutely fall in love with it. Isn't it amazing? It can be whatever you want it to be. I could have easily used, if I wanted to, and maybe I could have used the fibres dye. I could have had maybe water under that. So it's great when you kind of layer things up and have water and things as well. So that would look cool as well.
That's so cool when you double them up.
But I'm going to use this. I'm going to use because I'm thinking of fishnet and sea and you know, seashells and things like that. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to use some of the Collal glue.
I think what's great about this set is you've got everything you need to go from, like, you know, lovely day surfing in St Ives to grungy, ethereal, underground sea monster. You can do it all, can't you, with this particular set? It's really up to you which way you want to take it.
Oh, definitely. And this is what I like about, you know, the chance of being able to do exactly what you want or what you imagine it to be like. So I think I'm going to stick that like that. Next, I've already stamped out some of the gorgeous seashells from at the beach. So we've got some lovely starfish, and now is that would that be a conch shell? I can't. Well done.
I'm not good with my shells.
No. I'm not brilliant either, but this is the kind of thing. So what I'm going to do, I'll stick a few seashells and starfish on there as well, because I think that'll look really cool. So we'll keep our glue out. Now, as you can see, that's starting to dry now, that paste, and I think it looks really nice. Just starting to dry under the lights. Now, what's good about this is that you can tuck that in. See, you can tuck that in so it looks really cool, like it's been caught in the net. I think that's gorgeous. So we'll create, oh, and this is one of my favorite sentiments as well. I'll put that on now because before I forget. That'll be the first one to go on, so we'll put that on. And I've used like a sand, like you write sand writing at the beach, you know, when you write your name and things. So we've got a lovely sentiment there, which is life is better at the beach.
Absolutely it is.
Helen normally comes up with lots of the words and the sayings, in fact, most of them as well. So I just go along with what she says, because she's always in charge.
Have you got a favourite beach? I bet there's loads of nice beaches, isn't there, in Wales?
Well, we live only 10 minutes from the closest beach.
Do you?
So yes.
Amazing.
So which is nice, really nice. So we're going to put that seashell there. Now that, I do believe, is a scallop shell.
Nice. You do realise I'm going to completely take your word for all of this, don't you?
No.
You could tell me whatever you wanted, really, at this point.
I just make it up, yeah?
Yeah.
I don't know all the shells, I must admit. I had to actually look them up because, you know, I don't know my shells, basically. I think we're fiddled with that, and we're going to put that one. Do you know, I'm going to have a purple one there. You know, sometimes you change your mind, what colour you're going to do something. I'm going to have a purple one there. I stamped out loads of the shells, and I think they're really cool, but I'm going to use a purple one there. Again, using this glue, and it's really easy to use. So we're going to just place that behind there like so.
I think having that fishnet dye in the background really makes a difference, doesn't it, to sort of set these onto. I mean, they would look great as they were on there, but having that backdrop of that really makes it pop. Love the footprints, says Gilmore. Pat sends paper hugs, was worried that you threw that background away, Mark.
Oh, don't worry, it'll come
one of those
back.
things.
I did throw it away, didn't I? I screwed it up thinking, why? When I did it, I thought to myself, why did I throw that away just now? It's all right, I'll do another one. That's right. It's not the end of the world. It's a piece of paper, isn't it? So,
absolutely.
Do you know, this is where you have a play and you just place things where you want to place them. I think that looks really cool. One more shell, maybe.
How long will that texture paste take to dry, Mark?
About half an hour.
Okay.
About half an hour. In normal conditions, definitely about half an hour. So I think we'll stop just about here. I think we're just about done. One little, do you know, just put one down. Tuck it behind there as well. So I think we're pretty much done on that.
Amazing. How cool is that?
How's that?
Really, really cool. Love all the bright colours as well on the shells that you've got in there. Remember what you're getting then in this particular collection, because you are getting both the stamp sets in there, which is amazing. So you're going to receive your Ride the Waves, which is this one here with you. It's got a really nice big stamp in there, that one. Sentiments, you've got the little feet in there, and also then you've got the surfer dude in there too. And then, of course, at the beach, with all your different shells, again, more sentiments in there too. Really great embellishing size stamp. And you also have this as well, that stencil that you're not paying for. You're getting the stencil totally free of charge, which is amazing. $23.98, $34.77, 20%, a fifth of the stock of that one has gone. Don't forget also about the 3 different dies that we have for you. Then let's start with this one just here. Whilst they kind of are designed to go with each of the collections, they will work beautifully across all 3 of the collections. This one is your broken mesh that you've got here. You've got a 10% saving on this as well. That is your first one. Then this one here, which is your framed fibres. This is the one that you've seen Mark used on doubled up on a couple of different ways. That's a really versatile one. And then lastly, I think my favourite, probably this one just here, it is the torn fishnet that you've got down there. This one, all of them $15.99 or $23.19. They are, all 3 of them are a quarter gone, so they're going very, very quick. That doesn't take into account everyone that's got them in their baskets at the moment. If you want them, please be quick for them. We are going to move on, and we are going to have a little look at this particular set just here. The Celebrations, there's some beautiful ones in here. So really gorgeous designs in here, whether it's the afternoon tea ones you're using, the champagne ones are absolutely glorious in here too. A really lovely set. That's amazing. That background in there is absolutely incredible. Really great selection of colours. And then let me just show you some of the other champagne ones, because I adore them. Really, really beautiful. Lots you can do with this. Remember, again, you're paying for the 2 stamp sets and you are getting that stencil totally free of charge within there too. Can't believe how realistic those shells look, sends Pat sends paper hugs, which is brilliant. Right, I know we want to try and squeeze one more demo in before the end of the show, Mark. So what would you like to share with us next?
End of the show? Yeah, sure. I can do another one. Basically, what we're going to use is we're going to go for anyone for bubbles?
Yeah, sounds great. Always for bubbles.
I was asking a question.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere, Mark.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, so I'm going to combine that. I'm going to use the Bubbles and Fizz stencil as well, which is really cool. So we'll start off by using. What I'm going to start off with. Good question. I'm going to use a piece of card, right? And I'm going to stamp the champagne glasses first of all. Where I can find my piece of card. There's an oversight on my part. I didn't put a piece of card out. Right. So let's stamp the champagne glasses, the flutes, I think you call them. Now, if you're stamping glass or want anything to look like glass, what I would use is not a direct black if you can. This is I'm going to use it's called Morning Mist, but it's like a grey. It's like quite a dark grey or darkish grey. It's good because like sometimes when you're taking photographs of glass, you'll find that obviously it's not black. It kind of looks like grey, silverish look. So just stamp the glass. I'll show you how that works. Wasting my card. Look, I'm stamping right in the middle there, so I'm really wasting a piece of card today, but it doesn't really matter. So stamp your glass, it looks great, but we'll clear and emboss that as well.
Carla Wilkes says, hi everyone, loving the demos from Mark. There's loads and loads of love for them in the comments actually at the moment. Lots of people going for them. A lot of people are multi-ordering and going for all 3 of the collections, which I think makes total sense. I think they all give you very different looks and feels, don't they? So definitely room in your craft space, in your crafty arsenal for all 3 of them, I would say. This one also getting busier now as well. 2 of the stamp sets, and you're also getting the stencil, remember, for free across all 3 of them. Don't forget to add in the dies as well. A lot of you adding in those dies. Remember, we have less of the dies than we do have of the stamps and stencils. So if you want those, you will need to be quick for them. It is a very classy whoever's champagne this was. It's 1968, which I believe was a very good vintage, Mark.
It was definitely a good vintage. They don't make them like that anymore. Right, so there's a number of ways you can colour this in. Obviously, you can use your, whether you're using your Spectrum Noir pens, which is great, you can easily do that. You can also, if you want to, maybe I'll use, maybe do like a champagne-y colour. So in this particular one, I'll use a blend-in. Shall we use it? Yeah, I'll use that one for blending. Right. So get yourself your own kind of champagne-y colour. Is that going to be champagne-y enough? He says. Do you know what? I think it will be. We'll make it champagne coloured. We'll lighten it up now. So basically, because I'm going to cut this out. So I don't mind just blending through, and just don't go all the way to the top. Just go across like that. Oh, cool. And we can warm that up a little bit as well if we want to. Just make it more golden. So somebody said to me it's thirsty work. Yeah. One of the good things about if you want to make your glass to look more like 3-dimensional, now in the set you've actually got bubbles anyway, but if you want to do some like shade and shadow onto your glass, so use maybe a white pen or like a gel pen, and the way I do it is basically from the top of your glass, you just draw down a line just to create your own, we get some colour in there now, just create your own line of reflection. So you can't really see that like that. But can you see that?
Yeah, can see that there.
Okay. And then on the other side, if you want to go a little bit thicker. So go thicker. A little bit more. And once you've got it to a thickness that you're happy with, just use your finger to blur it out a touch.
Okay.
And that will give you a more kind of 3-dimensional look. Now what you want to do then is you want to cut it out, and I've actually got ones that I've already cut out, but this time I I used pink.
Oh, nice.
So like a pink champagne. I know they do have pink champagne, don't they? And as I say, you can see the highlights that I've created exactly the same way, and I've just used the glossy highlights over the top of it as well.
Fabulous.
Which looks like really cool. The next thing I want to do is let's create our background. So I'm going to bring my...
I love how full your champagne glasses are, Mark. They're very much my kind of glass.
Well, I thought your glass would be empty.
True, actually true.
So let's put these glasses here, and I've already stamped out the champagne bottle as well. Now, quite simply, you stamp it twice, once in green and then once in pink, and you do a little bit of paper piercing to get more of a three-dimensional look to your project. So, oh, and we've got a little cork as well there. So we're going to use those. So now I'm going to use the stencil. So again, this is something that I hadn't actually... I planned it in my head, but I haven't done this in reality, so we'll see how good this comes out, everybody. I'm just thinking about how I'm going to do this. So, again, you know, this is a great stencil because it's like having 3 stencils in one. You've got this part, this aperture, which comes with the mask as well, so you can create a focal image to your cards. The other piece is like, you've got like small kind of bubbles and fizz, as Helen calls it, and the other one is a larger kind of like bubbles, and they're kind of hand drawn, so they're not perfectly symmetrical.
Perfect.
So if you want to just make sure that you cover up the pieces that you don't want to show. Again, it's a good technique because I like to have 3 stencils in one, or more fun with what you're creating. So let's just cover this over, right, like so. And I'm gonna use an aperture here, so I'm gonna blend some colour through that one. I think I'm gonna use this antique linen because I like that colour. Antique linen. It's you know, years ago, I think that was the colour. Lots of people were kind of like safe with their colours, where they were doing like browns and that. But lots of people are going more kind of like brights and everything now as well. So I'm going to combine this colour with a brighter colour as well. So, and I think it's champagne-y colour, I suppose I would call it. So we're just going to blend. Again, you don't have to be perfect with this either. You don't have to, you know, have it. You don't have to be the best person at blending, but it just works. This will just work perfectly. So we're just going around, just creating that little bit of. It doesn't have to be 3-dimensional. I mean, you can go around the edge and then look as though it's more like a spherical ball. But I'm just creating a little bit of contrast for your colours. And it's hard to see until you see anything come in, until I remove the stencil. But hopefully we'll have something that looks quite nice.
Jocelyn says, fab demos, Mark, great to see you in action. Love the champagne tips. Lots of you going for this again now, as you have been all throughout the morning. I really don't think that these visible image items are going to last the day if they keep going at the rate they're going at the moment. And the other thing, most of the US hasn't even woken up yet.
Oh, wow.
I mean, it's still on the East Coast. It's still 5 o'clock in the morning. So yes, if you're in the fortunate position where you're watching this live in this first wake up call show, then the brilliant thing is you've got still the ability to get everything. We've had no sellouts as yet, but they will be coming soon, I think, if everything keeps moving at the rate that it has throughout this first show this morning.
So I'm going to go through now with my second colour, and we can overlap the colours as well, because obviously they're going to blend together to create a new third colour. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect, and this is because we're going to put the champagne bottle and everything over the top anyway. You know, it's just to give it a little bit of nice contrast. Now, one of our design team is an expert at doing this kind of work. Her name's Eileen Godwin, and she's amazing. So we'll give a shout out because it was probably, I was inspired by the kind of things that she creates. Right. Obviously, I can't do I can't do as good a job as her, but I will do what I would do with it. So we'll take that off, just blow a bit of excess off there. And now we've got a really relatively simple background. And this will lend itself to what I'm going to create next. So what we're going to do is we're just going to stick that onto my card to start off with. Because I think, and actually no, I'm going to stamp the sentiment on there. Okay. I think that's a good idea. Shall we have a congratulations maybe? Don't sing that. Somebody singing congratulations in my ear. Right, okay. So, not going to put me off much. Right, okay. I'm joking. Right, so I think I'll stamp that in... What colour shall I use? I think I'm going to use... Oh, that's a nice colour. Charming pink. We've got time for this, haven't we? We're getting there.
Yeah, we're good for time, don't you worry.
Okay, so I'll stamp that in pink. Just because we've got pink champagne in, I just want it all to coordinate a little bit. So this is seriously off-piste, as they say, because I hadn't planned on doing it this way, but that's great, because that's what real crafting's all about, is kind of doing it, just creating it as you go. So we've stamped the congratulations. I'm going to stick this onto my card a second, whilst I do some more stamping with my tape pen. These tape pens are great, aren't they?
Yeah, they're absolutely great, aren't they? They're so strong as well. They're all back in stock as well at the moment, which is fabulous. We had like the great tape pen shortage of 2022 at the start of the year, so
I know.
they are back now, thank
Do you know how many I bought in one go? I think I bought about a dozen, because I know how quickly they sell out. So I think we'll stamp that, stick that down there. Oh, that's brilliant. Next thing I want to do is just a little bit of positioning about where we're going to put things on our card, just for... Sometimes you've got to work out where things are going to go, and I think it's nice to kind of work out kind of in your head where things are going to go. So we're going to think about that. But we've got a great yeah, the pink is different. I like that. Somebody's talking about my ear. Pink is different. Yeah, I like that. I'll tell you what we're going to do. In the set, which is really cool, is we've got this gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous spray as well. So I'm going to use this spray. So we've got that spray there. We're going to use this spray over the top there, and I think that's going to look amazing. And we'll have that cork flashing as well. So I'm just going to stamp that as well. What colour I'm going to use, Mark? Good question. I think I'm going to use a. Do you know what? I'm going to use a pink. I think pink will work with that quite well. So get my stamping block. Okay, and we'll stick that on.
Don't forget as well, a short break today, and we'll be back with you again, remember, for that launch day, 2 p.m. here in the UK, 9 a.m. on the East Coast, 6 a.m. West Coast, and Mark will be back in for another hour within that show too, so another chance to see even more demonstrations. If you've got your orders in, make sure you tune in throughout the day to get very much inspired.
So I'm just working out exactly where I'm going to place it. I think it's going to go there. Again, using distress inks on this because it kind of combines exactly with what I did earlier.
Perfect.
We're going to quickly stick that on. And I've got a little something else to do on there as well. So I'll put this to one side with my pen. Right. And having fun with creating the bottles is really cool as well. I had to look at what colour are champagne bottles, and they are a green, but to kind of get the kind of green that that I have on this, use your stamping platform, stamp it in green, and then go back over with a little black around the edges and stamp over the top, and that's how you kind of get that like three-dimensional colour to it.
They're very dark, aren't they? Like
yes,
dark
really.
green.
They're like near enough black sometimes, aren't they? I'm going to stick this cork on as well, because I think that's really cool. And, you know, if people have seen me before on here, we've covered some drinks before. We've had the beer, the wine, and the gin as well. So they all kind of work together as well. So I think, should we have that cork flying like that? We shall also stick these lovely flutes on as well. They are called champagne flutes, aren't they?
Excuse me.
Do you know the last time I had champagne was at my wedding?
Sorry?
I said the last time I had champagne was at my own wedding.
Was that your wedding?
Yeah.
We don't drink. Everyone drinks prosecco now, don't they? Is the other thing we see quite a lot. I can't remember the last time I had a glass of champagne. Not soon. Not recently enough, Mark. I think is definitely the answer.
Okay. Have I got time for one other thing or not? We'll see now. About 20 seconds.
We squeeze that demo of the show in.
Okay, I've got a little bit of like glitter gel, so I'm going to just place that just over the top there, just because give it that kind of wet look as well.
Amazing.
And again, this is, you know, would you call it a clean and simple-ish card?
I
would
think
call it.
so.
Yeah. But I think we're kind of pretty much done there. I think that's good.
Amazing. Absolutely incredible.
So, do you want me to lift that up?
Yeah.
So you can, there we go. And then we can...
Perfect. Absolutely loving that. Remember then what you are getting included in that particular bundle. You're going to get both sets of stamps in there, and you're going to get the stencil in there too. We're going to do a really quick card of the show vote. So I've got Debbie's first 2 cards here. So that's card number 1 was Debbie's first one with that new launch. Number 2 was the one she did with the Broderie on Glaze. And then we have 3 of Mark's as well. Let's have a little look at those.
Sorry.
So we'll go.
My B first? Yeah, well, sorry. B1 first, which is
So the
that
B will be number 3. Excellent. And then the footprints is 4.
That's cool, that,
And
isn't
the
it?
champagne.
And the champagne.
Is 5. Get voting now in the comments. We might have to announce the winner in the next show. Don't forget about that launch day. Very, very busy on that at the moment, the launch day product. It is brand new today, which is excellent. And you have got 6 incredible designs in here. You can either go for any 2 of them if you want to. They are on a 2-4, but the best way to get the best value is to go for the whole collection. It's a really cool concept that you've got there with this gatefold concept. So you've got the floral swirls in here. You've got the floral meadow. You've got the lace and scroll, the opulent botanicals, and the classic lace as well. And you will also get this one just here, which is your Deco Vines. Right, make sure you come back and join us in, 1 hour's time. Number 2 is a demo of the show, which is that one just there. So that is your demo of the show. Mark, we'll see you back at 2 during the next show. Massive thanks as always, so busy on these products. Always a pleasure to have you back with us. But we'll see you back here in an hour's time. Take care.